Greetings, webheads, and welcome to episode 34 of Witty Banter, yet another Marvel Crisis Protocol podcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Alex.
I'm David.
This is JP.
We are here to help you get better at and have more fun with your Crisis Protocol. Before we dive into our main topic for today, which is a little fluffy, it's not quite as crunchy as you guys are used to. We just kind of want to give you an update on kind of what we've been up to and how things are going. We went out to a tournament out in Des Moines. Alex, you want to kind of start describing the tournament and how it went and how everything came down with it?
It was a really good turnout, I feel. We were able to get 5 of our locals to go up there. 7 of their locals signed up, so it ended up being 12, which is always great, especially for the tournament organizer, because then all he has to do is make judge calls. It started with Garrett coming out to Bug Eater and telling us what was going on. And I mean, to show support with other communities, I tried wrangling up as many as we could, and show them like, hey, we could probably make a couple of these a year. And we, as a podcast, somehow took all top 4 spots. We swept it.
Well,
We took their lunch money.
we kind of did. We kind of
We
did.
did.
And who was it that took first, Alex?
I ended up taking first with Apocalypse, and then David got second with X-Men. JP got third with Asgard Avengers, and Patrick got fourth with Guardians.
Hip hip hooray!
We did it.
We's all coming to your town. Here we come. With the power of love.
And then we look at squad goals and we're like, man, we barely scratched the surface.
Where was all this energy at squad goals? That would have been nice.
Right.
That would have been nice. So
I don't know what you guys are complaining of. I went 4-1 at squad goals.
True.
Well,
That's
yeah, you lucky son of a bitch getting the easy ones.
Yeah, basically the rest of us let you down. David, we all feel shame.
Pretty sure
JP?
Phoenix feels the same shame that we felt.
David, you brought Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I did. Blob
How,
definitely feels that shame.
Yeah, what was your Phoenix experience at the tournament?
I mean, aside from her getting one shot by Blob, it was okay. I still don't know how I feel about her or what to do with her. She's kind of It's just hard. She's a complicated piece. Like Bob had played her and Bob messed her up in like 2 of his games or something because of like how her rules interact.
Well, I don't think it helped that he had never played her before, let alone knew her rules before he literally put her together, painted her, and said, I'm going to play her. That does not help.
Yeah, definitely does not.
Phoenix particularly, I think, is a tough model to do that. What was your experience with the tournament like, JP?
That was really good. It was fairly. It was a really cool venue. I don't think any of us had been there except Bob, but that venue was definitely head and shoulders above places I'm used to playing at. I do like Geekery in Kansas City too, or wherever it is.
Yeah, Geekery's really nice.
Geekery's nice.
Yeah, Mayhem like blew all of the Omaha game stores out of the water.
I was astonished at what that place was, what everything it had. It was very, very cool. It was very, very cool. It was a lot of fun, and Garrett was a fantastic host and did such a good job of running everything.
Yeah, he did a great job.
It's also good to go to a shop that has like the gaming area is separate from the retail space. It kind of
that's kind of where I was getting at with the Geekery. I feel like the storefront of Mayhem was better than Geekery, but Geekery has that awesome back room for just play. Mayhem just had the full package. They had those murals on the wall outside. I just thought it was a really cool store.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really fantastic. I'm glad we did it, and I'm anxious to take another road trip. I guess if nothing else, the lesson is, man, if you have an opportunity to take a road trip, it's fun on an entirely different level when you take your kid on the road and you see what happens in a different city. I've done that a few times now, and I don't think there's been a single time where it hasn't been fantastic.
Yeah, traveling for tournaments is just so much fun. Whether it's a long drive like squad goals, or if it's a 2.5 hour drive for us to Des Moines, they're always super fun.
So, speaking of opportunities for road trips, Alex, do people that don't live in the Omaha area but maybe are nearby have an opportunity for themselves to make such a road trip?
They do. I do want to mention though, real quick,
Oh, okay.
about the tournament in Des Moines. I don't want it to sound like we're like, oh yeah, we're big badasses and kicked their asses and took the whole thing. Their community, those locals that we played against, are very good too. Those were some really tough games that I played.
Absolutely. That, yeah, I was kind of being silly, but absolutely the games I had were quite snug and quite challenging. The last game I played literally came down to the last activation and whether Cosmic Ghost Rider could take Blade down. So yeah, those were all knife edge games.
Yeah, and like I knew you were goofing around. I definitely wanted to mention how good they were, and like those games were some tight ones. I have a newfound respect for Shadow King, and if that means anything, Josh accomplished what he wanted to accomplish at that tournament. Show that Shadow King may not be a complete pile of dog shit.
Now try Sin.
Listen, I'm all about a challenge, but I'm not up for a challenging handicap.
You not into the S&M side?
Oof.
No, no, I'll pass on that.
What if he
No,
wore
we
a
don't.
crossbones mask? Get you in the
No,
mood.
Yeah, that would.
absolutely not.
I feel like I feel like that's in the right. I feel like that's in the right frame, and we don't kink shame, but boy, that is really taking it to 11 if you're trying Sin out.
But anyway, I definitely just wanted to give them a shout out. They were some great games. It's the first time I played against Josh and Colin, and those were some tough games. Uh, Gambit King, I will say, he pulled it out for me in quite a few spots. And Beast.
Yeah, that was the first tournament I've actually played against Josh, which is kind of crazy because I've seen him around a lot over years with just random tournaments, but never actually played against him. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was definitely a good time. Anyway, I
All right.
sidetracked quite a bit there, but I just definitely wanted to mention. Yes, we do have a tournament coming up. So if you're able to travel, we would love to see you. Big B is just a little over 2 weeks. 2 weeks away. It's July 19th and 20th. July 19th is a basic challenger event, and 20th, I'm trying to get a 3-person team tournament going. $20 each day. We'll have Longshanks links posted with it, but pretty basic stuff.
And we'll put the Longshanks link in the show notes, and we'll put that out on all the socials too. So if you're wanting to come join us, please come check that out. We would love to see you.
And you could win a championship belt. So like that's
Yes.
way better than any other prize you can get.
Do we have a picture of the thing?
We do. Yep, we do. It's the last year MCP did not get one. We were kind of a last minute addition. So we have the picture of what the 40K winner had, and like he's in the picture, but yeah, it's gonna essentially be the same thing. I don't think they're gonna make them special or fancy with any kind of like name like for the events, like what game you played, but it'll have the whole championship belt look to it.
We'll try to get some pictures of that up so you can see the sweet swag that you'll be playing for. So what we wanted to do today, we're in a little bit of a lull in terms of news that's come out, and it's summer, and it's just, kind of relaxing, and it's kind of chill. So we thought we would just kind of have some fun and just talk about some of the stuff that we like, maybe give you a little insight into where we're coming from. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through top fives because the one thing the internet loves is listicles. So, we're going to give you three of them. We're going to talk about our five favorite characters, just characters in general, our five favorite MCP models to play, and then our five favorite MCU movies. So we can just kind of go through it real quick and have a little brief discussion about why each one kind of is where it is. So what I thought we'd do, because we've all either put lots of hard work into getting our list together, or we're going to be totally making it up as we go along. Either way is absolutely legit. So what I thought we'd do is we just kind of go 5-1, and we'll go around the horn, and everybody can talk about who, what their characters or what their models are, and kind of why they're put there. So let's go ahead and get started. Going from 5-1 in David Letterman style. David, we'll start with just favorite characters. So who's fifth on your list of your five favorite characters, and why is that character there?
It's probably Thanos. I think Thanos is 5.
Okay.
I really like Thanos. He's just cool, and MCU Thanos. Comic Thanos is like a bit all over the place, but he's still cool though too.
And what specifically about MCU Thanos kind of puts him on your list?
First of all, Thanos was right, obviously. I just like his like when he manhandles Hulk in the beginning of Infinity War, you're just like, oh shit.
Stuff's
like
getting real.
That guy does not fuck around.
Okay. JP, how about you? Who's number 5 on your favorite character list?
I've got 5 characters, but I don't really have them in any order, so I'll just throw one out.
Sure.
And I hope you guys don't mind, but my listicles are a little low hanging.
Oh, mine. Yeah, as we talked about in the pre-show conversation, there is a reason that vanilla is the finest of the flavors.
Yeah, and don't feel bad because like when we go over my list, it's gonna be a lot of the same. I'm not gonna lie.
I was just trying to slip in a little subtle double entendre.
I see what you're doing there. Doing there.
So I'm gonna go with MCU Deadpool. I think I was trying to think of characters just from comics themselves, but MCU just adds so much personality to characters that I couldn't inject with that much with my imagination reading comics. So them being brought to life on the screen definitely adds another dimension to them. So I don't have all MCU, but I definitely had to add some here. MCU Deadpool is just like Ryan Reynolds hit the nail on the head with that. He that like every role that Ryan Reynolds has had up till now was just preparation to play Deadpool. MCU Deadpool.
Yeah, and every role he will ever have from here going forward will just be him playing Deadpool.
Exactly.
Alex, how about you? Who's number 5 on your list?
My number 5 is Apocalypse.
Okay.
And not MCU Apocalypse though. Is that MCU? I can't remember if they're MCU quite yet or not. But not the most recent Apocalypse.
Yeah, the Oscar Isaac Fox version.
Yes.
Yeah, Oscar Isaac was that was a really weird Moon Knight personality, I think.
I know. I didn't hate his acting. I think he was playing what Fox wanted, and he did that. Yeah. But they did not portray Apocalypse in that movie.
Yeah.
He just did a good job doing what they made. But Apocalypse is one of my favorites because kind of a nostalgia factor, and then just like the whole theme to Apocalypse. Like, I've always really liked history, and he's got that whole Egyptian history vibe behind him. And then in the early 2000s, the X-Men Legends video game came out, and I loved that game, and it really got me interested even more so into Apocalypse because I didn't know the character very well. And then once I played that, I really got into Apocalypse even more because I thought he was just such a cool bad guy.
So you're talking about comic book Apocalypse, not necessarily
Yes.
animated Apocalypse.
No, just comic book in general.
Okay. My favorite, number 5 on my list is old school comic book Captain America with the chain link shirt and the pirate boots, the whole thing. I am a firstborn child, and I am very much a stereotypical firstborn child. So the kind of the when I was younger, very much the straight up square jawed good guy Captain America appealed to me very much. And then as I got a little bit older, some of the storylines where he started to question his devotion or his allegiance to America, the whole Nomad run, even as ridiculous as the outfit was, I just thought was a really I just thought it was really interesting. So I felt like as I matured my in my consumption of comic book media that Cap kind of matured along with me. So I still have down in my basement, I've still got kind of an old school 70s era Captain America poster that's up. I think he that's always been one of my favorites.
Patrick, I wasn't really into like the golden age, so to speak, of Captain America. Is this the one that wears assless chaps?
No, sadly not. That's a different top 5 list that I have.
Oh, okay, I had it confused.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
I'm fairly
That's for the After Dark episodes that you have to be a part of the Patreon to get.
I'm fairly certain this is the one that punches Hitler, so that's pretty cool on its own.
Yeah, it's definitely a Hitler puncher. Yeah, who doesn't like a Hitler puncher?
Does Hitler moan in like a way that he's turned on after Cap punches him?
Well, see, that's the thing about comic books as a medium. You know, you have the sound effect, and you can kind of read it however you want.
Yeah, that's true. It does leave a lot to the imagination.
It does. Theater of the mind, man. David, who's number 4 on your list?
So my 4 probably is Punisher. I just love, I mean, it's a dude with guns. Like that's my thing.
Yo, those Punisher Armory comics, those were the shit.
Yeah, they are.
White go-go boots? How can you forget those?
Just like gun porn in a comic book.
Well, and
and just how Punisher approaches everything, and he's just like, "Nope, I'm just gonna kill you because I don't fucking care."
And he kind of, I mean, it kind of was a forerunner of the whole sort of 90s anti-hero vibe. So it's, I mean, he's a really impactful character. It sounds like that's more like a comic book version. I'm assuming, and I know you will. The John Bernthal Punisher just adds to that.
Yeah, I love the John Bernthal Punisher so much. He's, oh my god, in Daredevil when he's like killing all those guys in the room and like Daredevil's trying to stop him. Freaking insane.
I loved that, but I think my favorite Punisher beat from, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it already, but I think my favorite part of the Punisher beat from the first season of Born Again was when they were in Punisher's like basement apartment or something, and they're kind of yelling at each other, and in his kind of gravelly voice Frank just goes, "How about old Foggy? Did he get life?" I mean, that line was one of the best things Marvel Television's had.
I like Bernthal's Punisher, but man, I got a soft spot for the one in the first Punisher movie from like 2003 or whatever. That movie was so good.
What about the one from the 90s?
I don't think I've seen that
I just don't
one.
know if I like Dolph Lundgren as a Punisher. He's so weird.
Come on, bro. He was Adam Eternum. He can do this shit. He's a universal soldier, motherfucker.
I mean, I do like Dolph Lundgren. I just don't know. I don't know if I like him as Punisher.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you on that one, David. I'm not sure that one sold it for me, but man, I am 1,000% here for the Punisher special thing that Marvel's going to end up doing, and seeing him in the Spider-Man movie. It's just it's all good. It's all good. How about number 4 for you, JP?
I'm gonna go with MCU Iron Man. I think Robert Downey Jr. just steals the show anytime he's on the screen. That dude just oozes charisma, and I don't think he was born to play Iron Man. He's not that one dimensional, but man, he's so fucking good at Tony Stark. I can't imagine anybody else doing it.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, if we didn't get the first Iron Man movie, we wouldn't necessarily even have MCU.
That's true, because getting these lists together, I was looking at the waves, and Iron Man 1 is definitely the standout from that first wave of movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they probably the only thing that's even in competition for it is the first Avengers movie.
Yeah, and that's just Iron Man with extra steps, right?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it's
kind of. Yeah, it kind of is.
I personally really like the first Captain America, but Iron Man, like that one. I get random want to watch that more than the rest of them.
Was that the Captain America movie where he had the assless chaps?
I don't remember that, but
they can all have assless chaps if you watch them correctly.
Show me the way.
I think I downloaded the wrong Captain America.
This is gonna become Brokeback Brooklyn.
I wonder if you can actually add 2 explicit markers on the podcast label. I think we might have to look into that. How about you, Alex? Who's 4 for you?
Number 4 is Colossus.
Okay.
He's just always been kind of a cool looking character to me. The whole organic steel, or I say organic steel, it's not steel though, it's adamantium. That whole organic look, like the skin is he's just such a cool character. And like throughout the movies, he got a bad rep until Deadpool, because he was in 2 of the 3 X-Men movies from Fox. And like we got Colossus for about 3 seconds, and that was it. And then in the next X-Men movie, the 3rd one, he was I think a glimpse hanging out with Shadowcat, and that was it.
That sounds right.
But then when Deadpool came out, they gave him a little bit more justice in the first Deadpool, but then in the second Deadpool movie, it was even better with that fight with Colossus or with Juggernaut. They did injustice finally.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That was really good. I mean that. Yeah, I can find no fault in that. I can find no fault in that. My number 4 is, and again, being pretty vanilla, is old school comic book Spider-Man. And probably for the same reasons that everybody that Spider-Man was written for, why he's popular. The bookish, nerdy, socially awkward guy that all of a sudden is imbued with all these powers and still can't quite figure out the way to make his life work. He's just, he's a very Peter Parker was always very relatable to me when I was younger, and so Spider-Man's always had a real soft spot in my heart as after that. David, number 3.
This goes as no surprise. Agent Venom. obviously. I love Age of Venom.
Like a lot of the reasons for number 4 is gonna fall into number 3.
Yeah, he's so cool, and like so he got injured in combat and then became disabled, and then he found the symbiote, and the symbiote basically made him so he could like fight and walk and stuff again. And he was in the army, so like all of that stuff I understand.
Yep.
And so I have a special like I kind of understand how the character is the way the character is, especially because he was Flash Thompson, right? And he was like, going around picking on Parker, and then when he finds out Parker's Spider-Man, he's like, holy shit, what was I doing? Like, why was I being such an asshole? Because like that kid could have just like beat the shit out of me, and he chose not to.
Right.
Were you a bully in high school?
No, definitely not. I got bullied.
No.
JP, how about you? Who's your third character?
I'm gonna go one more MCU. I'm gonna go with Star-Lord.
Oh, yes.
I had never read the Guardians comics. They kind of came out after I was over my short comic phase. But from what I understand, James Gunn and obviously the actors kind of amped that whole team up a notch. But man, that movie is more than the sum of its parts, and Chris Pratt has a lot to do with that.
He does. That spoiler warning, that movie's going to appear on my MCU list too. Yeah, I totally agree. Every time I watch Guardians of the Galaxy, and I've watched it an uncomfortable amount of times, I just can't get over how Peter Quill is just like the really cool friend that I wish I had. It's a really amazing performance, and I'm still kind of amazed that Marvel could take a group like the Guardians of the Galaxy and make it work. In some ways, it probably ended up being a problem for them, because then they got to thinking they can make anything work, and boy, has that not been the case.
There's only one group of lovable misfits, right? It's like you can't catch lightning in a bottle too many times.
Yep.
Although the new Avengers did pretty well with it. Not quite Guardians level, but I thought they played as anti-heroes and all that.
So too, I thought so too. Unfortunately, the box office didn't quite think the same thing, which was disappointing.
That's unfortunate. Yeah,
I know. I was disappointed. Alex,
Red Guardian like stole that movie too.
Red Guardian.
He's so funny.
He was very, very good at them, and then he was funny throughout the movie, and then had the one emotional scene with Yelena and absolutely sold it.
Dude, Florence Pugh can carry a movie on her back by herself. And then you start getting all these other actors who kind of like carry their weight, and it compounds on itself.
I'm really going to be interested to see what that group is like in Avengers Doomsday. Alex, how about you for character number 3?
Number 3 is Wolverine. He was, as a kid, like he was one of the few comic books that I really got into. So just a 7-year-old kid really getting into comic books. My dad worked at the Dragon's Lair when I was a kid, and he would get all the like nickel comics for free, like the ones that just didn't sell a shit ton of. Like I would get so many of the extras that they wouldn't sell, and Wolverine was part of that, and he was just such a cool character. The first X-Men movie came out when I was 7 years old, 2000. And he was just like fucking Hugh Jackman nailed it. There's a reason why he keeps coming back, and he was so cool seeing it in action from the comics. So, and like his superpowers are awesome. I don't know. I really like Wolverine as a character in general. And then when I found out more about his backstory when I got older, it just got even cooler and cooler.
So, Alex, are you Are you saying you like comic Wolverine or Hugh Jackman Wolverine?
Both. I like both.
But if you had to pick one,
oh, why do you have to ask the tough questions?
Because you're cheating.
How am I cheating?
You have two characters. You have
How is
MCU
that two characters?
Wolverine and comic Wolverine.
All right, if I had to pick one, it is strictly because I have not gotten one of the issues of Wolverine that I'm hunting for, which will never happen, at least with how much it costs right now. I will pick Hugh Jackman just strictly because I've seen it, quite a bit of it, and I haven't seen a Hulk 181 yet.
That's fair. I'll accept your answer.
I'll allow it.
Fair.
Nice. Thank you, Your Honor.
He is the X-Man.
He is. He is.
He really is. And then we got our montage in Deadpool and Wolverine, and they showed us all the cool versions of Wolverine. I'm like, all right, you guys nailed it. Wolverine's definitely up there.
The Cavalrine, baby.
That was very fun. And then, and yet, the scene where in Deadpool and Wolverine, where he tells Deadpool to take Juggernaut's helmet off of Cassandra Nova and talks about basically how his relationship to Charles and why he's doing what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, I get what you were saying, JP, in terms of comic Wolverine versus MCU Wolverine, but man, it's hard to say that Hugh Jackman has not just completely and accurately captured the character.
Oh yeah, he like for this generation of comic book and like Marvel fans, he defines Wolverine now.
How tall is Hugh Jackman?
He's like almost 6 foot. Like he is.
I rest my case.
Too tall.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
You got your answer. You did get you made an effective cross examination and you got the answer that you wanted. So I think I think your advocacy was effective.
And also, we did get to see Short King Wolverine.
Yes.
We did, yeah, through the montage. So technically, he was both.
That's true. That's true. My third character probably is not a huge shock. It is.
Sorry, guys. I had to Google it. He's 6'2". So
Hugh Jackman's 6'2".
Okay,
he's 6'2".
Oof, man, that is not a small Canadian.
No.
So he's what, like a foot taller than Wolverine? Wolverine's like 5'2"
yeah.
or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wolverine's 5'3" in the comics, so he's just under a foot taller in real life.
I'm okay.
Hugh Jackman could kiss comic Wolverine on his head like a child.
Yeah.
And then they could have a snarl off. My third character, not probably a terribly big shock, is the Netflix / Marvel Television version of Matt Murdock. I never was a big Daredevil fan in the comics. I don't know what it was about the comics, but Daredevil was never a character I was particularly interested in. And then Charlie Cox comes around, and the Netflix series, even though in both the Netflix and the Marvel series, Matt Murdock, even though he'll tell you otherwise, he's not a good lawyer. I mean, he kind of screws things up for his clients, but my God, he makes it kind of feel like it's cool to be a lawyer. And I love that character so much, what he's done with Daredevil and how he makes that character work. I'll watch him. I'll watch a million episodes of Daredevil if I get the opportunity to.
I'm just thinking of the American Psycho monologue where he's talking about the hip to be square in the apartment.
I will have to agree with you, Patrick. Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock. There's just Ben Affleck can go fucking kick rocks.
Well, right. I mean, there's an element in which you almost don't I mean, Ben Affleck didn't have a lot to work with. It's in fairness, but man, I just love I just love the Marvel character, and I'm anxious to see more of him. David, how about number 2 character wise?
I mean, obviously, it's Peter Parker himself, right?
There we
I
go.
love me some Spider-Man. Like, I mean, pretty much for the same reasons why everybody likes Spider-Man. And I don't know, he's just cool, right?
I think I think he's still overall Marvel's most popular character.
He is. Spider-Man is also like in the top 3 most recognized icons in the world.
Yeah.
Right behind Superman and Darth Vader.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, there's now granted this is a survey that I saw 15 years ago, but Superman was number 1, Darth Vader was 2, Spider-Man was 3.
I think that's probably still true. I think that's probably still true. That is interesting though that Spider-Man is there.
Yeah, I could believe it's still true. I would have to look it up, but the only thing that I could think would beat Spider-Man would be Batman.
Yeah. That's the only other character that I was wondering if it would be on that list.
I will say if I had to pick a specific Spider-Man, it's probably the Peter Parker from Across the Spider-Verse. I love him. He's so funny.
The Peter
Good
B.
one.
Parker.
Peter B. Parker. Yeah. He's like the epitome of like just exactly how Spider-Man would be.
Yeah. Peter Parker definitely gives those vibes off 100%. JP, character number two for you.
Well, as I said before, gentlemen, my listicle is hanging a little low today. So, I'm going to have to say Spider-Man.
Nothing wrong with, I mean, look, there's a reason there's a reason we all kind of gravitate to the same thing.
I mean, we are the Witty Banter podcast, right? With the Spider Friends. I will say specifically for me, when I was in my comic collecting phase as a child, I was much more drawn to aesthetic and art style than I was the actual storylines. So when I was collecting Spider-Man comics, it was the run where Todd McFarlane had rebooted Spider-Man, and
Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane was the fucking goat. His shit was insane. I think he did Spider-Man up through like 20 something, and then Eric Larson took over for him. And then shortly after, they all kind of went over. They created Image, and even Eric Larson went over there to create Savage Dragon. And I basically followed that group. I quit because when Marvel lost all their artists, obviously their art took a dump. Like they lost everybody. They lost Jim Lee. I mean, say what you will about him, but they lost Rob Liefeld.
Yep.
Todd McFarlane, Eric Larson, a couple others. But man, that Spider-Man run was epic. The art was so good. Like McFarlane. I mean, I don't have to say anything about McFarlane. Everybody knows. But that dude was like off the chain. So yeah, Spider-Man for me too. Patrick, your turn. Oh, you already said You already said Spider-Man. Who didn't say Spider-Man? It'd be Alex. Alex is number 1 Spider-Man. I'm calling it right now.
Where is Spider-Man on your list?
I'll give my number 2.
Okay.
Number 2 is Venom. That dude, he like introduced me to the concept of anti-hero.
Okay.
I love that character strictly just based on how cool he looks. I grew up with the Spider-Man 90s cartoon and that whole storyline when like they did a very good job of basically taking Amazing Spider-Man number 300 and putting it in a television show. It was so perfect.
Yep.
I also own a Spider-Man 300, and that was the holy grail, well, second holy grail that I'm going for. I don't think I'll ever find Amazing Comics number 6 or whatever number it is with the first appearance of Spider-Man, but I can hope. But yeah, and like the cartoon was great with him. I'm honestly, I might take a hit from listeners here, but I thought the Venom movie, the first one, was good too for what it was. I really Tom Hardy, I thought, did a really good job portraying Eddie Brock. So everything about the character and the whole idea of getting his revenge on Peter because Peter got him fired, I thought was a cool idea. He's just a badass. I think he's super cool, and I love him.
So, do you get into like the symbiotes as a whole, and Null, and kind of that whole broader storyline? Do you kind of ride with that, or is it Venom specific?
I don't have a problem with the other symbiotes. The whole Null story can burn in hell for all I care. That storyline is so stupid. I thought it was such a cool story to leave the symbiotes. Like, they are symbiote and call it good. That's all they needed. And then when they introduced Null, I was like, this is the stupidest fucking thing ever.
So how do you really feel about Null?
I think if Null were to go away, we'd be closer to finding a cure to ending world hunger.
So if we nulled Null, you'd be good with it?
Absolutely.
All right. You heard it here, folks.
With Alex on that one. I'm not Null's storyline is kind of tired for me too.
Well, like the problem I had with it was like, okay, yes, I understand it's a comic book, and they're gonna make the character that the comic is about end up being like the winner, and like they're gonna be awesome. But they just made it too easy. They're like, oh, it's a Venom comic, but Null's supposed to be the super badass until the last couple of issues, and then he's a punk ass bitch. I'm like, okay, what is even the point of introducing this character?
Yeah, I don't know. Null feels like the ultimate example of power creep in a comic book.
Agreed. I will say though, there was one good benefit of that story. We got Venom with some cool wings. That was cool. That's about it though.
True. That's true. My second character is MCU Yondu. First of all, because Michael Rooker's the effing goat. But as an adoptive parent, Yondu's arc at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 always just kind of gets me. The part where he's getting Peter off of Ego just as it's going up, and he just has that line, boy, he may have been your father, but he was never your daddy. If you're an adoptive parent, that hits different. And I mean, he was a fun character in the first Guardians, and he was kind of a cool sort of antagonist, although not really. But then, you get into the story, the interaction between him and Rocket in Guardians 3. He's just a great character. He's absolutely a character that I have not just in comics or anything, but just in general. He's one of my favorites.
David? He is really cool with that arrow thing of his.
Yeah, the arrow is pretty hard to get away from too. That is very true. Although, without getting too far ahead, I am happy that the MCU model gave him a bow.
Or the MCP model.
Or the MCP model, excuse me, the MCP. Yes.
Yeah, bring home a little bit of the classic too.
Yep. Just kind of a perfect mix of the two.
I will say, he definitely had some of the best moments in the second Guardians movie. That whole scene where he gets out of jail with him fucking around with his arrow and taking out the other Ravagers. So good.
Yeah, that whole movie. All right, David, who's your favorite character?
No surprise, Captain America. Probably MCU Captain America, but I just like Captain America in general. Like, it's like, again, with most of the characters that most of the characters I like, I kind of feel like I understand. Like I connected to them. Like, I mean, Cap was too small and weak to get in the army, and he somehow got in, and then they turned him into a super soldier. I mean, like I had to gain 15 pounds before I could get in the army. So like I completely understand that part. And I love like Cap's like his entire ideology, like the speech he gives to Spider-Man in the Civil War comic is fantastic, where he's like talking about God, he says something about like Mark Twain, and when Mark Twain said at one time in one of his writings that like in a republic, who is the country? And like when you start to ask yourself that question, you're like, oh, well, that's a very difficult question to answer. But like, I just love Cap.
Well,
Cap is a good one. He was number 6 for me. Have you read the Death of Spider-Man comics series? Oh my god, the speech he gives at Peter Parker's funeral is gold.
I need to re-up.
I have not read that.
I need to re-up my Marvel Unlimited. I got a bunch of stuff I want to catch up on. All right, JP, who's your favorite?
All right, well, I was trying to split hairs with Alex to make my pick a little more unique. So I'm going to go with comic book Wolverine.
Okay.
And to make it more specific, I'm going to go back to what I was saying about Spider-Man. It was like I wasn't really reading comics for a super long time. I had my comic phase. I moved into other stuff. I never went back to comics. I obviously like comic book characters. I play a comic book game, but I just found myself doing other things besides reading comics later. So this was when Jim Lee had reboot X-Men, and Jim Lee was a fucking maniac too with his art. Like he was like, how would I say it? He was like the most accurate artist while still being comic book art. Like his proportions and everything, and his like perspectives and everything were really flawless.
So it made it more believable and kept you in the story.
Well, I mean, it was just like looking at the spreads and like all the panels and everything. Like it was just like me reading a comic with like an average artist or subpar artist with a good story was just not like, I wasn't into it. I was there for the art, and the story was kind of like the thing that kept me turning the pages. But like I would just sit there and look at the art. I thought his stuff was really good. They had that whole fold out cover for X-Men 1. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's pretty iconic, but
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So if I had to pick a character from X-Men, it would be, I mean, Wolverine is just the shit. And then, I mean, it goes back to like Weapon X and all that. I guess you could consider that maybe a different character, but yeah. Wolverine is just so cool. And I feel like I agree with you guys for the most part on Hugh Jackman. I thought he did a really good job, but I don't know if anybody can quite hit Wolverine the way a comic can.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like Wolverine does a great job of portraying it in real life, but like comic Wolverine is just so iconic.
Yeah, like he can do things in the comic that you can't really do in the movie.
Right.
I
mean, I suppose you could, but I don't know if how well it would translate.
It just wouldn't be the same either, because obviously be CGI, and it's just
exactly.
It's just
yep.
Yeah,
I agree. Alex, who's your favorite character?
Oh yeah, you guys guessed it. It's Spider-Man. I love
Spider-Man.
There we go.
4 for 4. Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Anyone listening? We didn't even plan this. This was purely organic.
Yeah, this was 100% organic.
I only had Spider-Man as 4th on the list. I'm feeling
get the fuck out, loser.
I know. I'm feeling like I don't even belong in this anymore.
Real quick, so David and JP, he was number 2 for both of you, right?
Yeah, he was my number 2. I preface this whole list with saying I don't really have an order, but technically he was the second one, second to last. I said.
Fair. I just thought it was a weird coincidence that like it was almost the same order on the tournament standings we just had.
So you could have predicted our tournament status by how much we love Spider-Man. Okay.
I guess.
I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
Guys, I'll be right back. I need to rewatch all the Spider-Man.
No problem. We'll just keep talking. It'll be totally.
So Spider-Man is a favorite, kind of like how the rest of you felt. Other than JP, I don't remember JP saying it, but it's just a character that you can relate to a little bit more, especially at the age where I was getting into comics, younger nerdy kids. Like it definitely was one thing, but then it's I like how he was one of the few superheroes in general that also just kind of had to portray real life too. He had to try to carry a job, a relationship, keep up with family.
Yep.
He was a real person in comics, but also super.
Yeah, that was absolutely why I think I connected to Spider-Man when I was young the way I did, was just because he felt the most like me.
Yeah, totally fair and relatable. I agree with you. I've always liked all the movies that they did. Granted, some aged better than others, but I digress on that. But I, if I had to pick a specific Spider-Man, it's definitely 2099. He was those comics started coming out. I believe they started coming out in '92, so they're a little bit older than I am, and like I was able to kind of catch up with those a little better than the ones that came out in the '80s and sooner. So he was just another cool character I could follow, and it was a different spin to Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah,
like the futuristic style was super cool, and I really liked how he worked. Like because he was different than Peter Parker Spider-Man, Miguel O'Hara. For whatever reason, they chose to not give him spider senses, but instead he just controls time with a watch, and it essentially is the same effect as spider senses.
right. My favorite character is MCU Rocket Raccoon. He, the first movie, he was just easily the most fun and most interesting character, and they just kind of hinted at his backstory. And by the time we got to Guardians 3, which James Gunn said was Rocket's movie, and it absolutely was, seeing his backstory and kind of, I mean, Guardians 3 sort of finished everybody's character arcs, but particularly seeing the way they finished Rocket's arc the way they did was just it's so much fun. And I mean, it's a talking raccoon that's shooting guns. How can you be any better?
Don't forget the traps.
He would have issues with you calling him a raccoon, though.
Not at the end of by the end of Guardians 3, he was okay with it.
Oh, okay.
But yes,
I'll allow
it. Okay, so that's our character list. Now we'll go on. We'll move on, since this is actually an MCP podcast. We'll actually talk a little MCP. What I wanted to do is talk about the 5 MCP models, or 5 MCP characters that are your favorite to play. Not necessarily the best or anything like that, although that might be part of it. But really, it's just like, if all you wanted to do was just have fun with the model on the board, who are the ones that you're grabbing? David, who's kind of 5 on your list in terms of fun characters to play?
5 is a really hard spot, but I think my 5 is probably Spectacular Spider-Man. Man, he's so fun. Like, his kit is so good. Like, he can displace models. He can like move around. He's got good defenses. Like, he's just good. I mean, everything about him is good except maybe his spenders, whatever. But he's still good. He's still a good character. It'd have to be Spider-Man.
Okay. JP, how about you? Fifth most fun MCP model to play.
So going back to what you were saying, for me personally, fun is synonymous with good.
Sure.
Like the character has to feel good on the board.
Makes total sense.
To feel good for me subjectively, they have to be able to do a lot of cool things. Like I want a character who I'm like, oh shit, I just did all this stuff and I can do more stuff. So I went through the whole list and it is tough. Like I tried to judge it by how much fun I have with them, which is relative to the power level, and also how much I've played them. Because there are characters who I've played very seldom that I do like, but I can't really like back them because I feel like I'm a poser because I don't even put them on the table. Case in point, like Rogue. I haven't put Rogue on the table a lot, but I really like her. I think she's a really cool and dynamic model. She does a lot of stuff. Okay. So, going to my Guardians roots, I'm going to go number 5 Agent Venom. The dude's got he's got a web swing, a throw, he's got a beam spender. Like he can pop off in a turn that like makes your opponent weep. I love that dude. And he's grown on me. Like he's like after the CGR nerf, I started incorporating him more into my squads, and the guy's a boss.
Okay. Alex, how about you?
I took the list into consideration. Very similar to JP. Like it has to be good, but something I enjoy playing and have played multiple times, not just a one and done. The number 5 for me is M'Baku. That dude gets shit done. He does so much shit. Like his spender is probably one of the best spenders in the game. His builder is pretty basic, but it still does things. He gets shit done. Like he has a throw. He can't take damage from throws from characters, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It could be.
No, he's got the solid frame like Kingpin.
Okay, so it is only characters. I couldn't remember if it was frames.
He's not Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just is so fucking cool to put on the table. His leadership is solid.
Yeah, I considered him for my list too, because man, like from an opponent's standpoint, being on the receiving end of an M'Baku, like sometimes I marvel at his activations, but I couldn't in good conscience put him on my list because I've only put him on the table a couple times. But like going back to what you're saying, like if he has enough power to like the double spender, and then he's getting a big attack with a throw, with a move, with a punch, with another big attack with a throw, with a move, with a punch, and if he has 10 power, he can throw a size 3 terrain too. Like it's insane.
What's crazy is he doesn't even need 10 power. Like if you're
lucky that's true. Yeah.
Follow up.
I guess 10 power across the whole turn. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like that's the crazy part about him.
Yeah,
and like people that I've seen, some people, not many, but a couple people that bring it up. It's like, well, he's got a terrible weakness of 2 energy. I'm like, if he didn't have that, he would be busted as fuck. He has to have something that's bad to his kit. Like he has maneuverability. He punches like a truck. Like he's so good.
He's only 4 threat also, and he's got
4 threat.
He's 7'6", so I mean, that's way above the curve for health.
Oh yeah, and that leadership is just solid as shit too. Like I forget that his leadership has a second part, but like the turning it, I believe it's a hit into a wild, fantastic, and then just preventing the possibility of getting pushed, even better.
You can turn a dice face into a hit if you have a wild in your dice pool.
Oh, it's okay.
It's still very good though. I mean, it's basically like getting 2 extra dice.
Yeah,
essentially, on average, it's very good.
He's so good. I only played Wakanda for a little bit. I would say it was a minimum of 10 games, and like that was when Spirit of Wakanda was a little busted. But it wasn't even Spirit that like I had fun with Wakanda. It was 100% M'Baku. He was so fun to play.
Well, and I will also say on that 2 defense thing, I think people kind of overvalue defense dice. Like
I agree.
2 defenses.
One defense
But,
dice,
I mean,
33% of the time gets you a success.
well, and like as long as it's not physical, like because when it's physical, you're most of the time that's what you're rolling on because that's what you roll dodge dice and stuff.
Right.
But like 2 energies, whatever, it's not a big weakness.
So
he is a very good character, though.
He is, yeah. So my list, as you will see, particularly as they get to the end of it, is not really linked with whether they're good on the table. It's whether they're just kind of fun to play. So 5th character on my list is Ant-Man. That dude is just, he is so fun to shrink and grow and to bounce around the board and to, you really do kind of feel like you're doing all the kind of nonsense that Ant-Man's doing. And I don't know exactly what it is about it, but both him and Wasp, but Ant-Man just particularly for his kit, I keep wanting to try to find ways to put him into rosters to make him work just because he's so much fun to play.
He was my number 6.
It might have something to do with his 0 cost range 3 place.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
that is insane. His play pattern is so cool and unique to the game.
It's
very
really
fun. And he has a 7 dice beam. It's so good.
Well,
a 3 threat with a 7 dice range 3 beam is insane.
Let's not forget.
Well, and he's the only 3 threat with a 6 dice builder.
Yeah, range 1. So he's just super unique.
And some of it's just even the mechanics of it. Like you have the regular model, and then you put the little model down, and then you back out.
Yeah.
It's just he is unique in the game, and again, he's such a monstrously silly character, and you just feel like that's exactly what you're doing with your playing him.
He's really good. I do, and he's a solid character too. Like he's not like an A tier character, but like he's dangerous. You got to respect Ant-Man.
Yeah, he's workable.
He has the only downside I feel with his kit currently isn't even necessarily his rules. He only has 1 affiliation.
Yeah,
and like Steve 1, he's not good with.
Right.
He's good with Sam.
Yeah,
I don't hate him with Steve 3, but he just doesn't need it.
No, I would agree.
I don't know if I completely agree with that. I think if he could hold extracts, he would be pretty busted, and people would splash him way, 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 way more.
I don't.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, I think that's the issue with him.
That's an issue for sure. I just feel his affiliations hurt him a little bit.
I would agree with that in the fact that, like what you were saying with the leaderships and stuff. He's probably okay with Sam. But again, it's like if he can't hold extracts, Sam is kind of trying to score. So,
well, and it's not like it's not like he needs the mobility help either.
Yeah.
David, who's your number 4 character?
This one should come as no surprise. Nightcrawler. I fucking love that dude. Oh my god, he just
your slot machine. Wow, I'm
shocked that he's only 4th.
He's just, man. I still can't figure out what they were thinking with the infinite attack thing. It's so mean when it gets going. But he's so much fun on so much dice. Like once the train starts rolling, you're like, you don't even care what the dice result is. You're just like, oh, I did 1 damage. All right, I'm gonna pick it up, roll it again.
I think I can speak. I think I can speak for all of humanity here, David, when I say fuck you.
Honestly, Nightcrawler's the only reason why I ended up winning the tournament, because he fucking slot machined your ass, and then I didn't have to. And for whatever reason, David didn't choose Nightcrawler against me.
Dude, Nightcrawler was such a menace in our game.
Yeah, he couldn't. I mean, when he gets going, he's a menace. I don't know. He was on my list of. He was on the short list of my favorite characters too. So the fact that he's playable the way he's playable in the game makes me very happy. JP, how about
I also would
Dave.
say that I completely scarred the Iowa guys for life. When that dude lost when I dazed Immortal Hulk and I think it was Frank. It was Frankenstein's monster. I got Frankenstein's monster and Immortal Hulk in one activation. And Immortal Hulk had no damage on him either.
So let me reiterate from all of humanity, David. Fuck you.
Nightcrawler's a hell of a drug.
He's a hell of a drug. How about
Helios laser crawler? My number 4 is Red Skull of the 2 variety.
Okay.
He's a 5 threat who punches harder than a 5 threat, and he's got the best grunt in the game that lets him just go do whatever the fuck he wants and still gets points. Very, very good character. He's splashed a fair amount. I guess his only weakness would be his health pool is a little shaky because he probably has to cut at least once in the game. So he's essentially a 6/6 for a 5 threat. And if you have a team that can like choose, they have like characters who can choose energy or mystic, or they just have a combination of energy mystic, so they can kind of pick on him. Makes his life a little harder, but that guy just gets work done whenever he gets on. Like, you just throw attacks and people just fall over. He's just so stupid consistent.
In our community, this is not a good statement in our community because for whatever reason, Psylocke's the bed in our community. But on paper, Psylocke is his worst nightmare.
What percentage of your fondness for the character is the character, and what percentage is the grunt?
I'd say probably 50% is when assless chap Steve smacks him in the mouth.
That is an alt sculpt. That is an alt sculpt that I am anxious to paint.
You can't see the blood dribbling out because his face is already red, but it's there. Believe me.
Much like Deadpool.
Yes. Sorry. What was your original question?
I have no idea. What percentage of your fondness for the character is the character, and what percentage is
or the grunt? It's probably the grunt is so damn good, but I don't know, man. Like, obviously Red Skull's better than the grunt, but the fact that he comes with a grunt that has 3 health that can cap points and flip points, it's just insane. Like, I don't even, it's the whole package, to be honest. Like, I don't think I would run him if he didn't have the grunts, because he's just, I don't know, he's a 5, so, but I think the grunts definitely put him overtuned territory. That's a hard question, actually. I would have to say, like, he gets the work done, right? So it's probably like 60-40 or something.
Okay. Alex, how about you? Who's 4th on your list?
Number 4 is Logan.
Okay.
That model is like, when I think of Wolverine and like his like MCU and comic Wolverine, that model is Wolverine. He is just a fucking whirlwind of death. He is so cool. His downsides, like, it sucks with that 2 mystic and then doing damage to models within range, because he just got hit by a mystic attack. That kind of sucks. But the rerolls, the healing factor, I believe it's kind of a pseudo charge. No, it's definitely a charge. But then has a throw on top of it. He just is such a fucking cool portrayal of Wolverine on the table.
His beam is fucking stupid. Like, if he can get outside of 3 of allies and is rerolling, that beam is fucking dumb.
So good.
Turning claw.
Yeah, and then exactly. The fucking, it's so good. He's so cool, and like the little glow up that original Wolverine got was good, but this Wolverine is just so fucking cool. Logan is such a cool model to play.
Yeah, Logan's the model that when you play him, you feel like you're playing Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
Alex is.
X yet.
What's that?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Alex is picking all the models that I would pick if I actually played those models, but I don't. So I feel weird. But like M'Baku and Logan would definitely be on my list.
Well, you played Logan a couple of times, I thought.
Yeah, but not enough to really like say I play this character. Like I don't know. I do.
Right.
He's really good.
I remember he shit the bed for you a lot.
Yeah, he definitely takes some reps, like to get used to that range 3 bubble that he has to maintain.
Yeah.
I didn't put enough reps to even like get comfortable with like positioning him.
That's fair.
I probably only put him on the table a few times. I don't know, a handful, definitely less than 10. I'd say probably around like 5 times or something.
That's fair. I was saying I haven't played Weapon X yet, so I don't know how he feels, like if he should feel like Wolverine or not, but Logan definitely does it.
I had some time playing Weapon X, and Logan is so much fun to play. My fourth character is Gladiator. I love the Imperial Guard to start with. Always thought that I was very excited to see we're starting to get those. The Superman pastiche idea really appealed to me, and this is one of those characters that is for kind of what he's like on the table, because good God, when Gladiator gets going, he is fucking obscene. I know that there's ways to play around him, and he's not. I think you could probably figure him out pretty quickly. But man, when he gets going and he can get around and do the punch and then do the beam, you really, you kind of get the feel of. You kind of feel like you're shirtless Henry Cavill beating up the Justice League, and it was. I just really enjoy playing him.
That dude is like a fucking freight train. He starts like slow, but man, if he gets momentum going, he just fucking runs shit over.
5 counters is a lot. I've never actually been in a game where he was oppressive to me, but his potential is crazy. Having the max at 5 is pretty insane. Throwing 11 dice, like okay. That's like Hulk with 4 counters on him, like 16 damage Hulk.
Plus, I mean, he's got easily the best mohawk in the game.
Oh yeah.
Don't let Yondu hear you say that.
Nah, Yondu's mohawk is good. It's not Gladiator good. It's not Gladiator good.
David, I've been very lucky, like JP, where I haven't had any games against Gladiator where he's gone off the rails. I've also been very lucky every time my opponent has played his what's his card called, the Praetorian Protector or whatever. I've been very lucky with those situations. Every time my opponent has rolled less than 3 hits.
Yeah, there's a lot of times playing Gladiator that you can be real nice, but boy, when they come through for you, just like you said, David, once that train gets rolling, stop. Who's your?
I have done that. I have done that beam of his with 5 fucking counters on it, and it's really dumb.
Yeah, I have. I have too. Last time I played Gladiator, he did horrible things to my opponent, and I really enjoyed. Who's your number 3 character, David?
My number 3 character is Nick Fury Jr. I love that dude. I love the grunts. I love Eye in the Sky. Like, he's like the epitome of shield. He's good. Like, his damage output is crazy. Like, if he has like 4 or 5 power and can like double spender and the grunts double attack, and like he just like his damage potential gets ridiculous. It's definitely Fury Jr. He's like, if you haven't played Fury Jr., you should. He's really good.
I love his unique design with well, I guess it's not unique because a couple other people have it, but like Magneto. But I guess Nick Fury gets played. Well, I can't even say that anymore. I'm just kind of painting myself into a corner here. At one point, Shield was basically defined by Nick Fury as the sole leader, so you could like recycle the Eye in the Sky every turn, which feels really cool. I was gonna say it's unique, but it's not. But like, not a lot of people play Magneto with magnetic refraction, so it's almost unique. But it's a very cool like design for that character. I really like it when you consider him playing within affiliation where he can recycle it. It's really cool.
and it is so powerful. Eye in the Sky, like, man, like it, like either your opponent is like forced to play around it, or they just get gotcha'd by it. Like, it's
Well, they've rotated or
really
nerfed.
good.
They've rotated or restricted like similar cards to that card, right? And it's just a card that you can keep playing in Shield for reasons.
If nothing else, it's such a tax on your opponent when you're playing Fury that you've got to be kind of thinking around. It's like, okay, wait, what's going to happen with Eye in the Sky? So it's kind of, it's just making everything your opponent does a little bit harder.
I also I love the grunt design. Like, man, the fact that they can like hold an extract, they can interact with the extract when they come in, and they can like place the extract wherever you want to place it when they go down. Man, that's so powerful. Especially like if your opponent goes into the grunts and then like they like say their fourth threat goes into them and then like they don't daze them, and now it's like, okay, do I attack these grunts again? They're gonna make it so I can't pick up the extract anyway. Like, it just creates, it's so good.
Another almost unique superpower if it hadn't been for Widow 3, but nobody really puts her on the table. But that superpower is super annoying.
Who's your number 3 character, JP?
Number 3 is Crimson Dynamo.
Okay.
That dude just does a lot. He's got action economy. He's got a range 4 beam that shocks. And then he's got that stupid dispersion field or whatever it's called. That guy just gets so much work done. Yeah, now that E's are gone, I haven't put him on the table. So, I think he's still good, but he's not quite the menace that he used to be. But I still put him on my list because he is fun and he still exists in his current, in the iteration that I found him to be strong and powerful. Like I would have Thanos in my top 5, but this current iteration of Thanos I don't think is very good, so I didn't put him in. So like Dynamo's kind of like he's the same character, but I don't know if he's quite as good in the game itself. He's so fun to play though. Like being able to port a medium base and then set up range 4 beams is insane. And then you've got the wild triggers on it too. Like you can just hamstring an entire team with him. He's just so stupid.
I can't believe I forgot about Dynamo. I'm so upset that I didn't put him on my list now.
Well, in his freaking, I mean, he's 434 DR and he's 6'6". Like,
yeah, I mean, he's just insane. He's so insane.
And his field makes it irritating to take out people around him too. It's just
yeah.
Man, that dude like rolls you out of triggers. Like, oh,
he's just so
even
versatile.
Immortal Hulk can feel so sad going into him.
You basically have to burn your medium throw on him just to get him out of there, and then start punching people with Hulk.
Alex, how about you for number 3?
This one might be a surprise for everybody, but number 3 is Sandman.
Wow. Okay, that is a surprise.
I know, right?
Expound.
I really enjoy playing that character. Like most of the grunts, if not all of them, really work with their parent model, but I just feel like Sandman's work better with him, and that's why they have the downside of as soon as Sandman is dazed, they're KO'd. Because I've had some monumentally awesome games with him, but then there's games where people know how to really hurt him and take him out easier and just make him worse in general, and he does nothing. But the highs are so high when he does what he's supposed to do.
Yo, that spender gets stupid.
The spender gets really dumb. I was able to take out High Hulk with 2.
His like synergy with his grunts is so cool. Like it's really, I like it a lot.
Not only are his grunts like unique in the fact that you can have 2 on the table, they're also unique in the fact that that just the synergy they have with Sandman. Because like excluding the spender, I mean, if you're lucky enough, you can you can punch somebody 8 or 6 times with all 3 of those models, because you can punch with the first one, push your opponent's model into the second one, and then the second one can push into Sandman. And it's just so cool. I had one activation where I was able to take out an Eye Hulk strictly because the grunts punched and were lucky enough to do 1 damage and push Hulk multiple times, and then Sandman just clacked them to death.
The any size push on fucking grunt models is so ridiculous.
Omnidirectional any size push, so good. It might only be 4 dice, but as we all know with MCP, it's MCP. I'm gonna get a hit at least once with them.
Them grunt dice.
Yeah, and like the way he interacts on top of it, like just like reabsorbing them to get massive mobility out of them, so good. Patrick, you were the unfortunate victim of that maneuverability. Not this past Bug Eater, but the Bug Eater before.
No, I remember it, and it was one of those things. Was like, I'm not even mad. That was cool.
yeah, like Sandman. Like, I'm pretty sure Tony was easily like half the board away, because you were playing Hulkbuster, and Hulkbuster got dazed, and after the transform, like putting Tiny Tony out, you were confident that Tony was safe. And then I'm like, well, he's not really safe, but I'll show you why. And I ported like seriously half the board across the table, and then proceeded to KO Tiny Tony.
Yeah, I remember. I remember, but it really was like there was a little flash of, well, hell. But for the most part, it's like, huh, that's just really cool.
Yeah,
it's a good choice. It doesn't hurt that the model's fantastic.
Oh, I love that model. Probably one of the cooler model sculpts they've done.
Patrick, we're friends, and this isn't a threat, but you better have a grunt character on your list now.
Right, we all had one.
Yeah, well, I like to think of myself as my own person. I one has to chart one's own course. So
I'll see you outside of the parking lot.
Well, my next choices actually might trigger in a couple of different ways, because my third choice is Thanos, but it is Thanos from his Ultimate Encounter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Whoa, that's a deep cut.
I know, but I love
that's almost cheating, Patrick. Those Ultimate Encounter mechanics are insane. Like, those characters feel freaking awesome.
Well,
the stones in that scenario are ridiculous.
So hear me out. The reason I feel this way is because every time I play that Thanos Ultimate Encounter, I like a lot of the Ultimate Encounters, but the Thanos Ultimate Encounter feels like the third act in Endgame. It absolutely feels like everybody's coming in sparkle circles and going at Thanos, and they're trying to take him down. And then there's Black Order there's his Black Order helpers that are kind of coming in, and they get batted aside, and all the heroes are coming down trying to take down this one big bad. And even when Thanos was at his pre-nerf terror level, he didn't feel like Thanos from the movie in the way the Ultimate Encounter Thanos felt like. So I mean,
yeah, because power doesn't give him fucking 15 power.
Right. But you also don't have like a million heroes that are ganging up on him either. It's the mechanic of the Ultimate Encounter just really makes it feel more cinematic. Makes it really feel like you're playing out the third act of Endgame. And I adore that feeling. It's Crisis Protocol in a way that kind of steps outside of kind of the normal competitive way that we think about playing it, and it really is a fun, just beer and pretzels cinematic evening of dice rolling, and I love it, and so I will pick Ultimate Encounter, fight anybody who thinks it's a problem.
From the local Sentinels player, I will accept that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. David, who's number 2 for you?
As no shock to anybody, Invincible Iron Man.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Yeah.
God, his kid is just like his fistful of dollars is such a good attack. Like placing and throwing somebody medium is stupid. Like, and then he can like follow up and push you away even farther. And then all of a sudden you can be like, oh, I was standing on the point and now I've been thrown and pushed away from it while Tony's standing on it. Like it's great. He's got DR to 0, which is like insane. Even like Jarvis is good. I just like Invincible Iron Man's a really good character.
This is a legitimate question. What's the last roster that you've made that did not have Invincible Iron Man in it?
Wizards.
Yeah, Wizards.
I was about to say, based on how long that took to give an answer, and JP had to give the answer, it had been a very long time.
Are you sure he wasn't in your Wizards roster? Because I could see you putting him in your Wizards roster.
Be honest.
You thought about putting him in your Wizards roster.
I have thought about it. Yeah, most of the time when I build a roster lately, I'm like, can I fit Invincible Iron Man in here? Does that work? Maybe.
JP, who's your second favorite MCP character?
Who do you think it is, Patrick?
Well, I know who I'm pretty comfortably sure I know who your favorite is.
I think I can. I'm gonna take a guess here too after Patrick, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say Abomination.
You're wrong, but it was a good try. It was a good try. I think Alex probably knows it. It's not a crazy pick or anything. It's pretty on brand.
It's Apocalypse.
Shit! No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is it?
Come on,
is
David.
it?
God, you guys suck. It's I Hulk.
Oh,
Immortal Hulk. Come on, guys.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about that. I was like lumping the Hulks into one category.
So was I.
So
I guess I wasn't as convinced that I mean, I knew how much you like Hulk, because I mean your first favorite isn't going to be too big of a shock. But I guess I didn't really realize that you actually did really like playing I Hulk that much.
I Hulk's amazing. So I should have prefaced this whole list with by saying that I'm considering these characters outside of their own leadership. So like Apocalypse, like it would be weird to say Apocalypse because then I'd have to include the leadership and the rider cards and all that. So it's just like judging strictly on their non-leadership text. So APOC probably would be in my top 5 for sure, but I don't think I don't think he's a very good character by himself. I mean, I don't think that's a hot take either. He's just not very good.
Yeah,
I Hulk
separate.
Now, this kind of goes a little, again, not really strictly against the rules I just laid down, but a little bit in spirit. Like when I say I Hulk, I mean in the context of Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anyone's splashing I Hulk anywhere. So yeah. Just giving I Hulk access to Siege of Darkness is pretty insane, and then you add Bump on top of it from Blade, and the guy just becomes like a solo raid boss. Yeah. He is like, if the game had one poster child to be the distraction Carnifex of the game, it would be hands down Immortal Hulk. That guy is just like run up the middle and just smash shit. I love that guy. And then you can give him. Go ahead.
His activations can just be ridiculous. You know,
man.
Like, oh, I'm gonna punch you 3 times. I'm gonna throw you 4 times. Like, and then I'm probably gonna place away or something.
With the Gamma Leap, a bump, and he's got one below all if you want it. He's just in, and you can stack Bats the Ghost Hound. Like you could basically set up your Tactus cards to just be like solo Hulk, solo raid boss Hulk.
He is.
Be like,
he's easily to play against. He can feel like he's one of the most oppressive characters to play against because it feels like he's doing so much to you and it takes so much work. And then somebody can roll in with a well-placed patch up and you're like, okay, I'm back to where we started.
See, I wish I could like paste memes into this conversation. I'd do the Jack Nicholson nodding meme.
Yeah, exactly.
I fucking hate patch up. I can't wait till that card goes away.
It will never go away. It will always haunt you.
He is definitely.
Yeah, it's never gonna go away because it's in the fucking core box.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, let's make patch up go away just so we make Shields cards that much better.
That means I don't have to chew through 45 health on an Immortal Hulk. I'll agree with it.
I actually can't really. There's nothing about that sentence I can argue with. So that's fair. That's fair. Alex, who's your second favorite?
Didn't you kill an Immortal Hulk with Cosmic Ghost Rider?
I did. I did the thing with Cosmic Ghost Rider. So the guy I was playing had not played much, if any, iHulk. So he was pretty inexperienced with it. So I was going into an Immortal Hulk that had no power on it. And I rolled up with CGR's Spender, which you don't get power from the damage you take. And I dazed him. And when you daze iHulk and he doesn't have any power, then he basically doesn't do anything and just dies. We had called the judge over and that's how the. So yeah. So CGR vaporized Immortal Hulk and I felt kind of bad for my opponent because that was pretty backbreaking. And he almost came back and won that game anyway. But I also, for all of the time, all the torment that iHulk has had for me, I will confess it felt really fucking good to just melt that motherfucker off the table.
Just to clarify how that works, it's because when he doesn't have any power, he removes damage equal to the amount of power he has. So if he has 0 power, then he can't remove damage. So then he just KOs.
Yep, exactly.
I'm just imagining Patrick vaporizing this Immortal Hulk while making the sound.
Oh,
and like tears are streaming down his down his face.
I imagine him with the Jack Nicholson. Yeah.
I mean, the guy I played, he was such a good guy. And he was kind of like, wait, what's happening? What is happening? And I was trying so hard to be a good opponent and to not be a jerk. But my God, it was hard not to just go.
The lesson is never end an activation with iHulk on 0 power near a CGR.
No. No, I mean, I mean, that is true. That is true. I actually did my, when I knew he was playing Midnight Suns, I actually pulled CGR out in large part because I was like, all right, I got the Spender. Maybe that will help. Maybe I wasn't expecting it to have 0 power. Okay, maybe 5. And then even if he patches him up, I can. So, I mean, the plan was still there. It worked better than I had thought. Let's see.
I believe that was JP's number 2 pick.
Yeah, I was about to say, I totally lost I had to smoke.
Immortal Hulk has a way of just derailing shit.
Yeah, well, I thinking about that Immortal Hulk, taking the Immortal Hulk like that. I had to kind of smoke a cigarette and just get myself back into the right.
I'm still imagining your like screaming, tearful catharsis on that. It's just still cracking me up.
It was real good. Alex, who's your second favorite?
I think I don't know if this will be a surprise, but I'm pretty sure I'll get some reactions here with number 2. My number 2 is Venom.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not yeah, I could see that. I see a lot of spider foes on there. Spider foes and Parkers and stuff. For sure.
And how much of that is just because you love the character Venom?
So I made sure to make it unbiased based on the character. It's a weird coincidence that he's number 2 on both of my lists so far, though.
Okay.
I made sure to keep the bias out, but like early on in the MCP world, he was so fucking good. He was so good, and for the longest time, he was still really good. Unfortunately, now I'm just like he's in my Spider Foes roster strictly because I just love him so much. But I've had so many good games with him early days, and the original days where he was just so cool. I had games where he was able to successfully take out 3 models in one turn. I've had games where he's clapped back and taken out models, healed fully, and just kept going. But the time when he ended up winning me 4th place at the first Bug Eater that MCP was at, strictly because he rolled 2 crits and 2 crits for his energy defense against Rocket, was so fucking cool. He just was a baller.
He is such a good character. I think he gets a little bit he's a little bit like maligned now that he's like there's so many characters have been out, but I think he's still like his kid is still really fucking good. Side note, a freaking sizeless, it's sizeless, right? Or is it size 4?
No.
A sizeless medium pull that's like as many times as you want to do it is really freaking stupid.
He has the best pull in the game. There's no doubt in my mind. It's the best pull in the game. It's range 4, cost 2 power, sizeless, medium, and you don't need line of sight. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And he has one of the best throws in the game, too. That size 3, range 3 is really fucking good.
It's only range 2.
Medium. Oh, it's only range 2? I thought it was range
2 medium. Yeah, it's not as good as like it's not as good as like Kingpin or Vision's throw, but it's pretty good.
Well, their throws are over.
It is. It's good. It's good.
Yeah. His pull is definitely the best. Does Omega Red need line of sight?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so it is the best pull. I guess the problem with his pull is that like he's a short mover, so setting up pull angles is harder than on say somebody like Gwen. But yeah, I mean a medium pull is like pretty insane when like in a game where they've punished through errata kidnapping, having a medium pull is definitely something that's kind of a terrifying option for your opponent to have.
Yep.
Yeah, he's just so cool. He's got one of the best kits in the game, and he's so fun to play. The small move I think is really his downside. If he had like aggressive, I think that would fix his kit in a heartbeat, or maybe a place.
He'd be
one of those two.
So stupid with aggressive, because if he could move back into 3 and then clap you back,
yup,
he'd be pretty broken with aggressive stuff. But that's good. I mean, he's very much. I mean, he's very much an old school menace of the game. He's an iconic character. I would like to see Venom make a comeback, and I think you guys make good point. Like there's a lot to like about his character. So that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
I mean, there was a point in the game where he was the best character in the game. Like, I mean, he's still very good.
Yeah, I feel he just needs a tiny glow up, and he'd be just about perfect. And like, I don't think aggressive is. I can understand why people would think it's broken, but like, if you gave him aggressive, that would just make him feel like Venom even more.
Yeah, that makes sense. I used to run him a little bit under Steve 1 before AMG lost their minds and released Beta Ray Bill and Shang-Chi, but he's really good in Steve 1.
Oh yeah, a move, pull somebody, so good.
Sure.
And then the clapback only costs 1.
I think the new Spider Foes cards are actually pretty good for him. Like the custom upgrades is pretty good, and Surprise Webhead's pretty good.
Webhead. So, sticking with somewhat of the theme, my second favorite character play is Amazing Spider-Man.
Good one.
And a lot of it is because he feels like Spider-Man. You're bouncing all over. You're bouncing all over the table. You're kind of swinging character. You're swinging into your opponents. You're and your spider sense makes you impossible to delete. The addition of getting power for rolling a crit means that his kit's kind of always online. And your superpower not only very much feels like you're doing what Spider-Man would do in a comic, but it also makes for a great podcast title. So I just plus you've got he's got the safe midline. So ASM is a character that I have found myself sneaking into rosters that maybe doesn't make a ton of sense for him to be there. 5 threats is a little expensive, but he's just so much fun to play. He's another character that it's just I want to play him just because he's fun to have bouncing around the table.
He is so fun in webs with Miles. Oh my gosh. You're just like going around everywhere with him, and like he has access to like webbed up and like spider tracker and stuff. Like ASM's a really good character. I like him a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
He's very fast too. Like it's really easy to underestimate how fast he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's just it. All right, so let's go around the horn. And who's your favorite character? David, you're up. Who's your favorite?
Obviously, I mean, it's Namor. Namor's like
Fucking Namor. I knew it.
Yeah,
I fucking love Namor. Like he does the ASM mobility thing, and he stabs the shit out of stuff. And he is like, his kit is so cool. He could just move around and do the thing. Like his spender has like so many different options of things you can do. Like the fact that he ignores DR is like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I got Bill. Oh no, I don't.
Yeah, Namor is fantastic. I will confess, I'm surprised Hawkeye didn't make your top 5.
I do love me some Hawkeye,
but Namor's fantastic. I just picked him up at the Des Moines tournament. I got him assembled just to get him painted because he looks like he's a ton of fun to play, and it is fun seeing a truly iconic Marvel character that is well represented on the table.
I just think he's about the perfect 5 threat in a game. Like he's got the rerolls. He doesn't have like DR, but he's not a pushover. He's super maneuverable. He can punch pretty hard. Like he just seems like the perfect 5 threat.
Man, his kit, like he can have an activation where he like charges you from one side of the table, like goes through you, makes you drop your objective, or interacts and moves away, and you're like, he just made 3 moves and 2 attacks in his activation. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, he feels like a lot of times. That is true. That's a good choice. JP, how about you? Who's your favorite? I mean, just say it, get it over with.
Oh, come on, guys.
This one's obvious.
I want to guess just for shits and giggles. Viper. I guess I was wrong.
I think you got the right color scheme.
Yeah, I was like, if you double the cost, and I won't say it.
And quintuple the usefulness on the table.
Yeah. OG Hulk is kind of the he's like the golden standard of 6s. He's very useful. He's very utilitarian, but also he can flip the switch to be a murder machine if the opponent makes poor choices or if dice just don't go their way. But I've played Hulk. Hulk's a drug for me. I put him in a lot of lists. He obviously just goes in every Avengers list I make.
Yeah.
He feels so good on the table. Like his whole kit, just everything. He feels so dynamic. He feels like he can just affect the board so much on one of his activations. I like his presence on the board also. Just the way he kind of plays with the tempo of a game. Like I can afford to just let him sit there. He's a great late activation, and I can afford to just let him sit and wait, because if the opponent the opponent is probably not going to kill him unless they have just some insane activation with Nightcrawler, where they're like rocking a Helios laser. But I mean, there's ways that you kind of go about solving that issue, but normally you can just let him sit. If they want to go into him, then probably extra dice into them when he activates. If they don't go into him, that's fine. He just activates and does Hulk stuff. So I really like the way he plays on the table. Probably the most now for sure. It probably would have been Thanos, like pre-nerfs, because he was just a god. But Hulk is a demigod for sure.
Is Hulk the best model in the game?
Because if he was the best model in the game, I think he'd get splashed more. But
yeah,
he's definitely a very, very good model for his cost. He's a gold standard of sixes. Like, well, I don't even know if you can call it gold standard. He's probably the best. He's got to be the best six now that they toned everything down with like CGR and Party Thor and all that. He's gone back to reclaiming his crown as best six, which is fine. I think some people have an issue with Hulk, but I don't know. Sixes are weird. They're hard to balance. I think Hulk's pretty balanced for the most part. Like, he does a lot, but it costs you a lot. It's hard to fit a Hulk into your squad. You have to make sacrifices for him.
He's a fair six, in other words.
Yeah, I mean, I think like I don't think anything on his card is like particularly egregious. And if you know how to play into him, he can be like, if you don't know how to play into him, feel really oppressive. But if you do, you can kind of curb that like demigod potential of Hulk, where you have like 8 damage on him and he's just teeing off on you and you can't kill him still. And he's getting bodyguarded by Steve or heroes. He's hiring Luke Cage to be his hero.
That's so funny to me. I don't know why. That's just so funny.
Well, and I mean, like, Hulk is one of those characters. Of all the characters you wouldn't want to have a bunch of hammers on, it's definitely Hulk, right?
100%.
If that dude has 4 hammers on him, you just lost that game. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, he's just gonna beat the shit out of you.
It's so hard to wrest hammers from him too, unless you have somebody who actually steals.
Yeah, that's the problem. And then you're like putting damage on him, which is like making him add more dice. So it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, and then playing him in Avengers, he gets access to Avengers Assemble, which kind of turns him. I mean, he doesn't go full raid boss mode like I hope, but a short move on a large base is better than a short move on any other size base, and it's really good on a 6 threat, especially when the 6 threat has a range 2 place. Also, the dude just can the dude's got wheels when he wants them.
Yep. Alex, who's your favorite character?
I'm pretty sure everybody can guess it, but I will say I made this list a couple of weeks ago. I think over a month ago when we had first discussed this. So excluding the recent events, I'm pretty sure everybody can still.
Is it Apocalypse?
It is, yeah. I was getting down on the game for a little bit, not because I thought it was a bad game. It just, a lot of the lists were turning into the same thing, or you would see a lot of similar things. being played. That could also just be due to like communities liking what they like. I don't know. The game was just getting kind of what's a good word that's
kind of stale.
Yeah, I guess stale is probably the best word because that was before we even got the new crises. But man, when Apocalypse was teased at Adepticon last year, I was so excited for him. But they didn't really tease much aside from he himself. They didn't talk about his leadership much. They didn't show his affiliation, obviously. But man, when he came out and he was just so freaking cool to play. He still is. And what really did it for me, though, was his leadership. The fucking post game, like the round zero to his kit and the different puzzles to unlock and play with. It's just so cool with that horseman mechanic, and then the fact that he can use their horseman powers. It really showed how much of a big deal he is in that affiliation, and he felt right. He still feels right, and I was the opposite in JP's list building consideration here. I considered his leadership kind of like how I considered M'Baku a little bit too. Um, but like JP also said, Apocalypse is not good without his leadership. He just does not have action economy. He kind of gets beat up on pretty easily unless you have sufficient rerolls to help him. Uh but man, when you're playing Servants of Apocalypse, that turn 0 is super fun to deal with, and just making other models better is super fun. I love that model. Originally, Venom was my number 1, and then Apocalypse took over.
Yeah, it's such a home run in terms of game design, in terms of the horseman mechanic, how he plays. It's just he's so much fun.
Yeah, you'll never catch me dead putting him in as a splash anywhere. Like that he will never get splashed. I do not think he's a good splash in any way. Like it's like, would I splash Apocalypse or would I rather splash Hulk? I'm gonna pick Hulk.
A range 2 place on a large base is good. Like
it is.
Like he
it's a drug.
He just
like
doesn't.
JP said.
It does not. He does not feel good without it.
No.
So, much like everybody else, I'm sure my favorite model is not going to be a surprise to anyone else.
Honestly, Patrick, your opinions, I love them, and they throw me for a loop. So I have honestly no idea who your number one's
I'm
going
gonna
to be.
guess. Do you want to guess first?
Your guesses, I'm sure, will be correct. But yeah, go ahead. Take a stab at it.
I think it's Sentinel
Prime.
Oh, okay, that was my guess too.
Yeah, it's Sentinel
Prime. We all guess the same thing. That's great.
Yeah, it's Sentinel Prime.
Oh, well, okay.
And I don't even know if I really understand why, but those big stompy boys are just so much fun to play. I think a lot of it's just because they look able. A lot of it's because the Sentinels in the comics and in the movies and the shows are some of my favorite villains. And there's an element too that it's fun to try to figure out a way to make those bastards playable, to wring some kind of competitiveness out of those things. It's a fun challenge to try to do. But I will say the what if at Bug Eater, where I had the Prime and the 4 drones out on the table, that might have been the single most fun MCP game it was just so cool.
And
now I'm imagining. Go ahead, David.
Go ahead. Say what you were gonna say.
I was gonna say now I'm just imagining Patrick with tears running down his face again, except they're tears of joy.
Oh, it very much was tears jerky. Well, you got the picture of me standing in front of all
Oh, hell yeah.
the big old stompy boys. That was it was great. It's just, I'm excited for the new stuff that's coming. And I'm hoping that they'll do a good job and make the faction more playable and competitive. Um, there'll be a there'll be there's a little part of me that will be disappointed if Sentinels are like good and a whole bunch of people start bringing them again. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I like that because it's fun to see more Sentinels. But it is kind of fun to pull a tray full of purple robots out and have just people go, oh my god, here we go.
And to be fair, I think the Sentinel Prime is actually pretty good. Like his,
Absolutely.
He has the best reroll aura in the game. He's on a large base. It's difficult to displace him, honestly. And he can, if he's pumping dice and throwing an 8 dice attacking you with rerolls and then throwing another 8 dice attacking you with rerolls, that's pretty stupid.
He's got 10.
And he can pull models.
Yeah, he's got 10 health. He's got a range 4 pull. His spenders handing out conditions for days. Yeah, I mean Prime's legit. It's just the affiliation is so narrow, and the drones are actually fine on their front. They're just such hot garbage on the back that they are 30-foot purple anchors.
Well, and Prime's leadership is a fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah,
I think it's so bad.
It's not great.
The Texas Turds
too
suck too.
many leaderships that are that bad, but
yeah,
that leadership is really bad.
I get it. I get what they're doing thematically, but yeah, it's definitely a miss. But anyway, so
I call here in about 9 more months we should be getting another release of Crises. I call Patrick as the first opponent of the new Sentinel stuff with 4 new Sentinel models coming out. I'm gonna put Apocalypse into them so that way they're exact opposites.
Oh yeah,
Sentinels want only humans, and Apocalypse only wants mutants.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. I am looking forward to that. I'm kind of getting my play for everything else out of the way, to get that going. So, well, I know we talked about doing an favorite MCU movie list, but we're 2+ hours in, so I think that I think we should call an audible here and say that we've got plenty of sweet content, and let's put the favorite MCU stuff in our collective back pockets so that we've got some content to fall back on when we have the next slow patch news. What do you think, guys?
Yeah,
probably a good call.
This was fun. I mean, this was exactly what I was hoping. Just a fun kind of BS conversation, thinking about this IP that we all love. So webheads, we want to hear what you think. Who are your favorite Marvel? Why are they your favorites? Who's your favorite models to? Why are they? Why? Who do you agree with more? It's probably me, but I can live with that. That's just how it usually goes. So hit us up on the social. You can find us anywhere there at. Make sure that you give us a follow and a review on any of your podcasters. That will help grow the community. That will help other people find us and help. And if you want to take support to the next level, you can support us at patreon.com/wittybantercast, where for as little as $1 a month, not only help us keep this thing going, but you can get some cool benefits for yourself. So
Also,
thanks for
I do
sticking
want
with
to say,
Yeah,
Patrick,
please.
Give us your top 5 lists. I think that would be super fun to hear from you guys. We'll shout them out in an episode. I think that'd be really fun to get everybody involved with it too.
I agree. Yes, absolutely. We would absolutely love to see your top 5 characters, your top 5 models to play. Absolutely. Good shout outs. Thank you. So thanks for sticking with us, Webheads. We look forward to seeing you, and until next time, be good.